One, two, one, two, one, two. I can't see too much better than before. I gotta fix. I don't know. I got a lot of lights. I'm not sure. I think I'm not positioning them correctly. So yeah, I know it's been a minute, but yeah, I have no idea. Man, nah, tooth not removed. Tooth not removed at all. It's really somewhere in the middle. But it got infected for a minute. It's actually you lead me into why I need to issue. I'm not sure it's exactly an apology, but it's kind of a greater understanding. For I guess the last week and some change, I've pretty much been on a liquid diet. So I've been like right now, this is a little that's yogurt and the Boathouse Farms mango juice. And I got some coconut wood over here. So of course, yogurt is not vegan. Uh, I've had some chicken soup that's not vegan, but even if it's just that, I feel superior to all you people. It's a real thing. Like I get it now. I feel superior to you people, and I feel like telling you why I'm better than you by telling you what I've eaten. So the vegan mafia, I still think you're jerks, but I do have a greater understanding. I have a greater understanding of the place you come from. You know, I'm still never eating tofu. I've had a, I've had a I don't know what you would call it. I've had an embargo against tofu since about 1989. I think that's the first time I saw tofu. But shout out to y'all over there in the vegan mafia. We got in here today. BC Realm, Black Justice, Freedom Culture, True Self, District 120, our guy Sincere, the guy Divine Justice, K-Bar. No, I never ate tofu. Yeah, another little bit of trivia. I don't know, did y'all check it out? Did anybody notice that Kanye West apologized? Did anybody notice that? Like while I was down for the count, I was doing some observation, you know. Did anybody notice that? I thought it was quite peculiar that it wasn't publicized a little bit more. I think that's kind of a sign they're saying, look, we done. But who knows? But did anybody else see that little story that Kanye West apologized for some of his recent statements? Yeah, if you look it up, uh, it says that Kanye West apparently, I think it was, they said he watched the movie 21 Jump Street. Was it 21? He watched a movie with Jonah Hill in it, and he said it restored it restored his King Me. There was a question I wanted to ask you. Oh yeah. Uh and first of all, let me finish. Let me get it. And because like I was specifically thinking of you. I was watching some videos from some brothers from the West Coast. I was like, yeah, the next time I see King Me, because I've actually been meaning to ask this question since the 80s, but I just never got around to it, and I'm not sure why. But anyway, yeah, Kanye West said that he saw a movie with Jonah Hill and it restored his I guess his faith in Jewish people. So somebody put here right here, he Sham said, and they rejected his what's the name. I didn't know that they made an actual response. But to me, just the fact that you don't see that all over the front page, the fact that you don't see them analyzing, well, do we think it was sincere or not? I mean, I would agree that that's a rejection. That's kind of saying like, nah, we're not giving the $1 billion back. Because that's what I was thinking when I saw the story. Like, damn, I guess Kanye West decided that $1 billion is a lot of money. Peasants will have to excuse me while I eat my yogurt and mango juice. But I digress. King Me, what are crocus sacks? Like, am I even saying that right? Like, spell crocus sacks. And what is it? Like, from the first time I heard, I mean, you know, it was just, I wasn't curious about what it was. But I have been, it came back up. The brothers was talking about, yeah, man, remember back in the days we had what the crocus sacks. Do we have anybody here from Philly? If you're here from Philly, Gabriel has been trying to explain it to me for years, but I can't. What are alpinas? Not exactly sure. What are alpinas? So crocus sacks are a kind of shoes. Like, can I Google them? Like, if I Google, how you spell it? Like, what is that? The name of them? 793rd. Nobody here from Philly today, huh? See anybody from Philly? See if they can send us a picture of our penis. I've been wondering what that was for a couple decades now. Yeah, I know who used to wear them. I just, Alpine rims. Now these are not rims. Whatever they is, K-Boy told me that they're kind of shades that apparently in Alpinas, so they rims like car rims or eyeglass rims, you saying? K-Boy was trying to explain to me that at the same time they was wearing Cazals in New York, that they was wearing Alpinas in Philly, but I never saw the Alpinas. So Alpinas are car rims, you see? I'm all the way off. Yeah. I guess we'll leave that up to them, because look, we gotta get serious today a little bit quicker because the way this situation is, it's I had all types of lacerations in the back of my gum and my cheek back here. So there's lacerations on my cheek and lacerations on my gum. And so when I'm talking, they kind of rubbing together. I've been putting salt water, so it's toughening up. But right now, I'm still on liquid diet. So if y'all got any questions, y'all better start sending them through now. In the meantime, uh, you know, the other day, because I've been dipping in and out, and I go by the school, and we over there, we building, and a young lady stops by, and we have a whole conversation, and that's what kind of led to this conversation right here. You know what I mean? In terms of I don't know if y'all looking in the comment section, but look, Abdul Rahman, I was actually thinking about you. I was thinking about you too. Like, I gotta ask you this. Are you on the spectrum? Um, Are you because remember you said you're 18 old, you're 18 and old in Jamaica, Queens? So you could have won the fight and lost the war. You might got a little CTE. Got to check on you, man, because we brothers like that. All right, so yeah, you 32-0 with 18 knockouts. But was they like old school 40-round fights where by the time you got the knockout, you had sustained some trauma? Your statements. Whew. At any rate, getting back to, like I said, the young lady came up to the front of the school and she had some noble intentions, right? Until, well, uh, she stops by the school and she asked us, what is our ministry to the youth? So, when she first says that, I'm sure a couple people that may be new to science is had to take a couple bites of superiority right there. But she asked us, what is our ministry to the young brothers out there? So, I know the word ministry might throw some people off. But I know what she means. She meant, what is your outreach? What are you administering to the people, out here that look up to y'all as 5%? So, she first said that. So I tell her, basically, uh, it's the anybody that's been on the channel for a minute, anybody that has been on the channel for a minute, you know what I tell people when they come through. We give people the knowledge of themselves because in every environment that you go into, you gotta know who you are. You know what I'm saying? On the grand scale of the universe, we know who we are. So we teach that the black man is God, the black woman is the earth, right? So that, people could know how they need to respond in their environment. So as she begins talking, she tells us that, what made her stop by there was that a young man got shot in the projects right there. So it's like, nah, I didn't hear that or whatever. So then she's like, well, what can we do? What can we do to fix the situation? So there's another brother right here, right? He's building with me. So he says, well, what would you like to see happen and to fix it. Right? So she says, well, I just want to see love and protection for Black families, Black women, Black children, and Black communities. And so the brother says, well, what about the Black men? And this young lady who was very, like I said, we two men standing there, right? I'm 6'2". The other brother, he's probably about 6'5". You know what I'm saying? She came right up, spoke right up, loudly, clearly, you know, enunciation, pronunciation, diction was all fantastic. But when the brother said, what about the Black men? She started stuttering. And I mean, this is me. So by the end, I was able to get her to see at least that, you see, if you leave the Black man out of that, right, then you just negated your point of stopping over here to ask us, how do we stop these young Black men from this, what we saying is unnecessary violence? She didn't see the connection there. And it just made me think that, that's something that was lost. You know what I mean? Just in terms of when we take it back, with, this teachings right here. Like that's the science of Elijah Muhammad, began with. And then somewhere down the line, see, fear fucks it up. And see, what I seen is that fear gets planted. And then see, for instance, I give you a good example, right? She was saying that she wants to see Black families and all of that, but then as we started speaking about Black families, then she starts bringing up these situations. And you will see that anytime, and it's not just with women, it's anytime somebody's doing something that they don't want to stop, right? Then they paint the picture like it's just two options. And see, if you're selling drugs and you don't want to stop, right? Then you're gonna say, what I'm supposed to work at McDonald's and break my back and be on disability? Like that's the only two things that exist. Yeah, that might have been the case when you started at 15, 16, but that's not the case. By the time you get 21, no, you got a bad job because you didn't do none of the stuff you were supposed to do. Yeah, it's the system, but it's YouTube. And so by the same token, it's like, okay, this thing exists in a society where it's like, yo, look, and look, the reason why I say the culture is our God, because it's not our fault at all. But see, there's this kind of image out there that's kind of developed amongst the everyday people. I think, I go, maybe I'm just noticing it. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just noticing. that somehow, the black man is at the top of the pyramid of oppression, not of being oppressed, of being the oppressor. Because see, once you do that, then everything is fair game. And I'm saying that, yeah, there's the media aspect of it. Just in terms of, I don't know of a YouTube channel that's dedicated to, like right now, it's May, right? Next month will be June. Is there going to be a channel with a DJ academics counterpart, right? That is calling off the roll call of all the kids who graduate. See, they just right here, King Me says it's not our fault, but it's nah, I mean, listen, we can't have it both ways. See, we can't tell this history of all these bad motherfuckers. It's April. Whew. I guess time is not flying. Thanks for that, though. My point is still the same. Graduation is coming soon. Uh, I don't know if there'll be any lives dedicated to calling off all of the people that graduated in Chicago. DJ Vlad is not inviting them onto his channel. You know what I'm saying? But uh yeah, King, that's what I'm saying. We really did, it's documented. There's people laying in the grave and people sitting in jail because of what we participated in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the original thing that the brothers was trying to do, right? It's somehow been lost, Chief. I'm talking about when Elijah Muhammad drops, message to the black man. All of these different movements, the Booker T. Washingtons, you know, I mean, there's maybe not Martin Luther King, but if you take Martin Luther King and Malcolm X off the table, there's crack dealers that's more famous than everybody else. That you can ask about a drug dealer or a gangster in any given city, right? Or from any given city, and you can ask about him in any given city. And people will run down their whole history. It's niggas in New York that argue about how the Crips started. But if you ask them who W.E.B. Du Bois is, unless they have something particularly named for him in a city, I don't think they know that. You know what I'm saying? Look, Mega Evans was just as gangster as everybody. He stood his ground. You know, he knew what the run-ins was. He knew what the what I'm saying, what could happen. But we don't look at that. We don't portray that to the point where, like, as I'm talking to this young lady, I mean, some of the things she was saying was just simply not true. They just some of the ways, or maybe it's me. Maybe I'm living in a certain bubble, right? Where in my family, men behaved a certain way. And so, and in my neighborhoods, and so this is what I think the black man is about. And maybe all of y'all out there is really pieces of shit. I mean, if you really a piece of shit and you've been hiding it from me, type one in the comment box so I can know who you are. You're giving me a bad name. I mean, you got to make it go past here. But just let me know. I'm covered for you. But you need to let me know now. See what I'm saying? This kind of stuff here. OG Percy and Charleston White. We got to stop this. And see, this is what I'm saying. And look, it's not just OG Percy and Charleston White is just two people. It's the millions of us that tune into that shit. But you can't leave that out. But Cardi B, whoever it is, they do their music. Hey, look, what about the millions of people that's streaming it over and over? Now, look, here's the thing that like I said, I just, being that I've been observing a lot of social media in this time that, I've been down with the truth. Like I said, can't go outside like this. I'm going out today though. But prior to this, like I said, just got infected and then my health didn't feel right. I'm not really eating right. Can't be outside. That's how shit happens. But you got this thing about independence now. And everybody wants to do whatever they want to do, however they feel, right? I think there's an issue with that. Like that sounds good on face value, right? But the problem is, how do you end up with a cohesive unit at the end of that? Like if you got 40 million, original people in the United States and everybody's doing what they feel like doing, how do we form any type of cohesive unit like that? And see, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of these things that people want to be, you know, is their goal to achieve at the end of whatever is their endeavors, you're not really prepared to do any of the things that it takes to get there. And that's one of the things that it has to be in order to have a cohesive unit. People gotta have things that they're responsible to do and don't do. Like even in the body, you know, we talked the other day about the DNA and the code by which your body is supposed to work. The shit is all on a certain timing. If shit goes off timing, like if your heart goes off timing, what they call that? If your breath goes off timing, you know, those are simple things. But it just show you that, yeah, all of this got to work together in order for you to be one cohesive unit. So yeah, we all got to work together and uh you know, the entire unit does have to come up. You know, there's no, you know, I'm not saying that whatever's the social rise, you know what I'm saying, of, you know, everybody in the community is not good. But at a certain point, this thing is getting out of balance. You know what I'm saying? And you know, one thing King Me did say up earlier is that it's not gonna be rebalanced by anybody else. You know, that necessarily needs to start being seen as an attack. They see, you know, when people, you know, start telling these stories, you see what I'm saying? Like, look, you know, I don't want to say it's new because it's not new, but it's almost like I'm hearing that the same way as thug or criminal. But this is just the new nigga here. This is the new we call it, what's the guy? This is new Willie Lynch shit here. And that image is starting to bar, it's starting to bar progress. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that they publicizing. Like, see, even the thing with Ja Morant, does anybody know the excuse that Ja Morant gives these people? Let me take it. Let me take a bite of superiority. For those that don't know, I've been on a liquid diet for like the last week. That's a little yogurt and mango juice from Boat House Farms. It's my new recipe. Yesterday I had that's like blueberries or something. Like blueberries with my yogurt. Make a divine wisdom. West Coast wise. Chicken 1017. Nah, not quite healed up yet. I'm in there. I think look by uh next week, like right now I'm superior to all you people. I'm with the vegans right now. But as soon as this is over, I'm gonna eat a whole chicken with some A1 sauce. But I digress. Like visible. What was my impression of Crip Jesus? Uh I mean, things have to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Ultimately, that's a YouTube thing. You know what I'm saying? One thing, and I see this, it's not just a 5% phenomenon, but anytime you're dealing with, something where there's a real group of people, a real culture, real life, you know what I'm saying? Real people that's, you know, standing on a square about that, then, you kind of can't take stuff on the internet as all that serious. You know what I'm saying? So, that was like for the internet. Uh, you know, in person, that's not who you meet. You understand what I'm saying? You know, um, ultimately, and that was the place where it would have to stay. You know what I mean? Like that's not something that, could grow, not from our standpoint or from their standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, uh in terms of just the name, that's just the name. But in terms of, what that would kind of represent, the Crips is not gonna want you having no other thing where, especially when that thing, and then now we come from our side, which is look, you know, uh, some of this activity. I mean, look, people in the gang world today call themselves savages. So there's just things that you're doing in that life, right? That, look, you may have to do it. Who knows? But then I don't know if you still qualify to be the father of civilization, depending upon how you live in that life, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Uh, ultimately, you can't really, you understand what I mean? Because see, even living that life, right? You can't really have all that righteousness in you like that. Because see, while you thinking, damn, should I do this, man? This ain't boom, you gone, nigga done blew you away. Yeah, you you ain't got that kind of time in that life. You see what I'm saying? You ain't got time to be, thinking about, well, if I do this to this person, will it be right or wrong? So, just in terms of, you surviving physically, that's not a good idea. He said people only come to God when they're suffering or in trouble. Look, that's the other way to put it. Like with diet, uh, I had some problems back here. My wisdom tooth is busted in, and I don't know what happened, but it left the whole back side over here of my mouth with lacerations. So yeah, I haven't been able to chew and really. That's why we didn't do no live yesterday as well. You see this here, what I'm saying, Abdul Rahman. That's why I asked you if you're on the spectrum, because you find it interesting being a 5% gang member. How do you manage that when we are not a gang? See, if you a gang and you run out of people to fight, then what you gonna do? The vegan mafia, I don't like y'all. Y'all are jerks. But I do admit to having a greater understanding. Eating like this, it makes me feel superior to everyone. I mean, yeah, that's Abdul Rahman said. I'm talking about claiming a gang and 5%. I mean, look, you're just simply not gonna be able to do both at the same time. You're gonna either get caught up living a double life, uh, or you're gonna go one direction or another. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, if you look, uh, the older brothers in Chicago is they don't come out as much. But if you look at the brothers in LA, that tends to be the case. They get involved with Islam and kind of slowly over time, it's like, yeah, I can't keep doing this. And you know what I mean, what it's saying, you know, here in the Quran that how I'm supposed to be living in the rules of the street, it just is no way. You know what I'm saying? And you in reading the Quran where it's all about forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And you live in a culture where ain't no backsies. Yeah, y'all didn't answer the question. I said, actually, I was waiting for y'all to answer the question. Do y'all know what John Morant, in terms of, these types of white supremacists, put like this, he just produced an argument against reparations. I make it that can't does anybody see what he did now? Or do you understand what I'm saying about what he did? So with the 5% in the gang look like Sharifa Menace to Society? Yeah, at the end of the movie. Exactly. You over here with these dudes trying to talk about righteousness. You ain't, you know, got the right clothes on. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got your American Express. When the people you like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. I mean, well, look, I only saw who you talking about. If you talking about who I'm talking about, OG Percy, I seen him in a couple of videos. I don't know who he is. I never seen him. I never heard him saying nothing about being a 5%. See, all from one. That's look. You're there with me. Like I don't even want to take away from what you said right there. Right? They look at the situation with John Morant. Like, look what they would do if we gave them all that money. Now, look, I got just a slightly different, just adding on with you, is y'all have been telling us, right, that we could get rid of the police and then we need to give y'all some money. Y'all been telling us that poverty is the problem. See, every one of y'all rap niggas talk about how, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's the situation, man. Yo, we in here, we trapped in these blocks, man. We can't get out. But yet we got all these rich and famous motherfuckers getting indicted right now. So now they looking at it like, yeah, nah, son, the problem is not the money. Now you saying that if we gave you reparations, then you wouldn't do crime? Streets wouldn't look like that. Families would be together. The whole problem is that white people have been robbing y'all of resources, right? Then why all these $1 million motherfuckers getting indicted? Not for no white collar shit. Like I said, it's not just him. But that's definitely something, you know. I mean, I wouldn't have to put it back in mind, all of us, but mostly like y'all got to put that back in y'all teachings. You know, really who the black man is. See, we do a lot of teaching, a lot of talking about who the black man is in the heavens above. Where we at here? Like I said, right now I'm still good, but I don't want to talk too long until my shit get irritated. So I guess we go ahead and open up for uh some questions. We got the link in here. Ceremony starts. We actually had, if something came up about that too, I can't even recall what it is. See, that's what happens when I'm going for a period of time. I don't be writing stuff down. See, I don't be writing stuff down. Do I read the Holy Quran? I mean, I've read it. It's not see, those books they contain some history, right? But that history has already been lived. There's things that we can apply from then to now, right? But uh they didn't have the internet then. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was today, Moses would have had a podcast or a live stream or something. You understand what I'm saying? They trying to do the Exodus and it was the pandemic or something, then King Me said I'm born and raised in Compton, Watts, and South Central. You know what's crazy? I was just watching this, I was watching some videos. Uh I think was it Kev Mac videos? I like Kev Mac videos, because uh, in my opinion, he don't sensationalize the topics. Like, even though he's talking about the same amount of stuff, first of all, he's been a part of it. You know what I mean? He's paid the price from living that culture and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same as somebody like Vlad capitalizing or whoever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But there was a dude that the way he was talking was basically like, yo, if it wasn't for the Crips, gangs might have died out in LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe not completely, but he was saying that what happened is that after the Watts riots, that a lot of the gangs that was around switched over to Black Power. So, they kind of stepped into that void. And then of course is how many things would have died out if it wasn't for crack? A lot of things. Look, maybe even hip hop might not have made it if it wasn't, you know, crack financed it. Any new music? Yeah, I got actually a lot of I got a lot of things on the got a lot of things on the burner right now. But can't do too much because of this. I gotta get this. Well, I can hit the keys. So King Me, you agree with that assessment? These were some older brothers though. These was one brother, he was the leader of the Slausons. The other brother was the leader of another gang, the Avenues. So they was really coming from that perspective where they was like, yeah, now we all, we wasn't hanging around no more like that. So, the new gang thing that just kind of came out of nowhere. Loud. Oh yeah, I saw that documentary, Bastards of the Party. But over the years of of watching it, just seeing that story come out into the public, it's evolved. You know what I mean? To where, like, if you see the modern stuff that's coming out about it, there's a lot of dudes that, for whatever reason, when that story first started being told, they wasn't around. Like they wasn't involved with those stories being told. So now they come in and they like, yeah, certain shit, like, yeah, that story's been around for a long time, but it's not true. You know what I'm saying? See, I like stuff. Uh, I don't watch it so much to see the violence, like, this person is bad and all these people and they tough, man. People is tough everywhere. I look at it more to see the evolution of the communities. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, that whole thing now, because see, you gotta kind of compare notes, you know what I'm saying? But it's like in my neighborhood, or the neighborhood where my family was living at that time, right? So, they got that policy that they was doing in the 60s and the 70s where they was driving highways through the black communities, right? I knew that happened in my neighborhood, but I didn't know that was happening all across the country. Like there's certain things that, I was thinking that, that was a New York thing, but it turns out that nah, that's, you know what I'm saying? You know, and sometimes those histories is unique and sometimes they the same. You know what I'm saying? There was something that was going on, in the 50s and the 60s, right? A group of brothers that was born, pretty much after World War II was affected. They had a different kind of effect from society and on society, right? And it manifested in different places in different ways, you know, and a lot of it is based on the people that was around at that time, the people who people is looking up to. You know what I'm saying? They see in New York, we got Malcolm X. So, what's manifesting out there in the streets amongst the young, he's having a huge impact on it. And so that's one of the reasons why, the manifestation that came out of that exists still in New York to this day right now is the 5%. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago, it manifested somewhere in the middle where is at least at the beginning, it was more political. You know what I'm saying? The people that they got out there, uh, what's my man name? The Panther guy that they killed, and just in general, I don't know all of the background about it, but I'm just saying that those is a little more political movements in the beginning, and you still have groups and organizations that's from that area, you understand what I'm saying, that exists right now. That's the product of that. You know what I'm saying? And in LA, they looked up the gangsters. Fred Hampton, that's his name. Thank you. And so the manifestation from what, in terms of came out of the 60s, that particular, those group of kids, right? With the seed that they planted, it still exists out there in the form of certain organizations that have been out there at the same time. So that's what I'm saying. I look at it I like looking at that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different examples of how they cornered us off, in each place. Yeah, it was a basic game plan. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like you know, in New York, they already had the Irish. So, you know, they already, they already ain't like black people. Let's cut it. Let's cut it to the chase. You know, they already had the Irish. You know, and they didn't have no problem, with busting heads. You know, but in LA in particular, from watching different things, I seen where they said the dude that was the head of police chief before Dow Gates, that he went and put all the posters that he was hiring, he put them all in the deep south. So in the 50s and the early 60s, when black people was migrating out there heavily, he recruits all of these police from the deep south that don't need to be told to bust black people's heads. That don't need to be told that, look, we ain't gonna let these niggas get out of hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what happened in Chicago. Like that's why I watch those things to see uh that's why I watch those things to see the what's what like that. You know, sometimes it's trivial, but sometimes those is key things, right? That we have to look at, right? Because you got to reverse that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some things you can just stop doing and it'll get better. But there's some things you're going to have to manually reverse that. Or it'd be different regions, even uh, like see West Coast wise, you from up there in the Pacific Northwest, that's a different history up there of how everything got to be how it is up there. Even if we take it outside of America, right, and we say internationally, right, we got slavery and Jim Crow, right? Other places got colonialism, imperialism, rather it's uh militarily or economically, religiously, all of these different methods, right? That is in the 136, but they apply differently on different people at different places. Shaquem. Far from one, should I say that to say I'm watching the government use people for their advantage at any cost? Uh, you know, see, one thing we gotta remember is this, right? Or at least the way I look at it. I'll tell you something about the way I look at it, right? See, The government is an inanimate concept. It's not even an object. It's an inanimate concept. And so we got to really identify the people, right? Because, look, at least in New York City, right? In New York City, I'm sure, Los Angeles, Chicago, you know, we got VC Realm in here from St. Louis. In the, these kind of atmospheres, don't get me wrong, I know it's still sundown towns. I know it's still sundown towns in America and everything, right? But sometimes when we use these broad terms, I think we put like some blurry shit over the topic or something. You know what I'm saying? Like when you just say, white people this, like see, sometimes like that motherfucker right there. But see, when we say, look, the devil is manipulating people like you're saying here, right? We're not just talking about the knob on the door to the state house. Talking about some person or group of people that's being influenced by some person or group of people. And so you really gotta look past the smoke screen of the government to the special interests that kind of control the government. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say white people, but look, if you like I said, I know it's sundown towns, but look, the same, the Klan is not coming in the hood in this day and time. So see, if you see some white people, they ain't got no teeth, you know, uh, they stumbling around from moonshine and crystal meth. They're not holding you back. It's not them. No matter, you can take them off the planet, bring them back if possible, and take them off again. It wouldn't improve the situation. And see, what I'm saying is the danger of that is, look, what was that, 2020? Where we spend all this energy, right? But we don't really get no fruit from that because you didn't really identify what is the problem, right? Or who is the problem, or how is the problem. So how you really gonna identify what is the solution? You end up out there with everybody holding signs and shit, and 2 years later without no progress. Why would you say? Why would you say that's the white population? That is not. You have this when they give you people a chance. I'm Kim Salon. Yeah, we got any other questions here before we take it down? Y'all done got me into some philosophy now. Talking that pro-black stuff with y'all. Knowledge our God, bond supreme. Yeah, questions there going once, going twice. For everybody that's just coming in, I've been on a liquid diet for the last week. And I've joined the ranks of the meat of the vegan mafia and feeling superior to all of you. I think Trump is going to sing Elmira of a clan. Now look, I hate to get my I hate to get my law librarian on y'all right now, but look, um, I'm not happy with these charges, and it's not a defense of Trump, but you know, I think they really pushing the line here in terms of the law. I mean, first of all, what did he get indicted for? Because listen, anybody on here that thinks you can have the FBI, the NSA, you know, state district attorneys, you know, police departments, if you think you can be investigated for 6 years by all these organizations and not and come out of that without a charge. If you think you could do that, put one in the description box right now. I'm gonna tell all of y'all right now, y'all been in this room with Abdul Rahman, so you could be indicted on conspiracy for whatever the hell is on his mind. Yeah, look. But I'm just saying, you know, now this is my point, what I'm saying, right? You said he at the end of the day, at the end of the day, right? You investigate all this time, you investigate all this time, and all you got, and look, I hate to turn this into a Kevin Samuels episode. But listen, you saying at the end of all of this, the only charge you got is that a porn star got paid for sex twice? Is that your only thing that you got? And your major witness in the case is a convict who was convicted of fucking fraud? I'm just saying, look, if you are a good, upstanding citizen, I can understand none of this meaning that to you. I'm a good, upstanding citizen. But see, just like, a couple weeks ago, we had the episodes. By the way, there was some more installments on that. But there was an episodes where we was talking about the people that was doing the protests in Denver. They got infiltrated, right? Not because of anything they did, but because of their ideology. So if motherfuckers come after me and then, this is what you end up getting, they do. When they do that, they don't have no case. The same thing with Al Capone. You ain't got no case. What bootleg? He paid her not to talk during his presidency. Okay, King Me. I want you to, I want you to, I want you to put your Figaro hat on right now. See, that's what I said. I don't want you, I didn't want to turn this into a Kevin Samuels episode, but I need you to put your Figaro hat on right now. King Me, that's what every prostitute gets paid for. To shut the fuck up and get the fuck on. Like at the end of the day, this woman is trying to quadruple dip at this point. First, she got paid at the time. Then you got paid more. You got paid more. Like, all right, yo, look, I'm about to do this thing or whatever. Hold me down. Then after you took that money, you tried to sue and lost. And now you back to testify in a criminal case. Like, oh, wow. Wow. You're here to convict someone of having sex with you and giving you money. Are we for real here? Are we? I mean, is it? Tell me if I'm bugging the fuck out somebody. Tell me if I'm bugging the fuck out somebody. They do. Okay, King Me. Let's do it like this so that I don't seem misogynistic. Let's put it in a different category. Let's say Trump bought some weed off me. Not that I sell weed, but I'm just saying, let's say Trump. let's say hypothetically, Trump bought some weed off him. And then when he was getting ready to run for president, he was like, yo, saying, look, you gotta just hold me down on that. Like, what you need? Hit me with a nice chunk of change, just to be quiet. Then, after I got paid in the first place, right? Then I got paid again just to hold him down. And then also, let's keep in mind that look, this is when Trump was running for president. So selling weed is not legal. So now after he paid me for the weed, paid me again to hold down, you say I'm not fucked up when I go to the news and expose this shit where it's like, hold up, dude. First of all, how are you the one exposing that you did some shit illegal? Like there's just some shit. Look, there's some businesses where, you know, confidentiality is a part of the business. It's just some businesses that's like that. Yeah, I don't get that. I do not get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand. I know who she is, but how this is being condoned by, I mean, even the government. Would the government do that in any other situation? Like, look, if if I sold you some weed and they went to the cops and was like, yeah, this nigga money was counterfeit. I don't I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you can get some. I don't know if you can get somebody arrested like that. But yeah, that's why I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Like whatever the thing is, if like you had all this shit in Russia, all of this shit, like dude, at some point, you just investigating somebody for, years and years and fucking decades. And see, I'm gonna tell you something too. I guarantee you this. See, I don't have that kind of patience. That's why I like doing the lives. But if I did have that type of patience, you know what I would do? I would take a I would take a list of all the Democrats that was in office when the Monica Lewinsky thing happened. And what I guarantee you is that you will find footage of them saying that, yo, why are we making all this big deal out of just somebody having sex? They're gonna be telling you, yo, we shouldn't be indicting people for sex. These are the same people that's saying sex work is work. But this is how we doing now. This is how we doing. Like this is how we doing. Like, look, that's it. Look, that's it. We look, law enforcement is, hey, look, we got El Chapo, got Trump. Come be all you can be. But you're a supermax. But I can tell you something. That indictment is in New York, right? Hey, look, I know for a fact the district attorney got better shit to do. The district attorney, he got serious business to handle to be fucking with something like that. Hey, nigga, Harlem is on fire right now, man. Like, look, Harlem, it was on fire, but the Bronx and Brooklyn really, I think maybe the Bronx was, whew, we talking about, listen, immediate responses. Like, dudes was even trying to put no shade on it or nothing. But yo, people been getting hit right on 125th now. You know, somebody got hit on Times Square. So in my opinion, you know, this broad needs to take her money and go ahead wherever she live. In terms of whether or not he get convicted, I mean, okay, just in terms of the legal issues, right? I don't like the precedents that sets, you know, especially knowing, right, that when these fucked up precedents like that get set, right, it ends up trickling down to the black community in a worse way than it ever was meant for those white people. They see, I know what the degrees say, right? But the prisons, at least in New York State, was built for the Irish and the Italians. You see, by the time mass incarceration hit, right, that was we got hit the worst. Drugs and all that shit. They first had that in the late 1800s for them, like when cocaine was in Coca-Cola, and you had to go to the soda shop. Black people was not allowed in that soda shop. But by the time mass cocaine gets to us, it's way more fucked up. The RICO charge. was first made for the Italian Mafia. But see, even when they was doing that with the Italian Mafia, to my knowledge, right, they wasn't locking up kids. So by the time that trickles down to us, it's way worse. So, this type of, precedence right here that they doing where, I'm like, yeah, all right, man. But that's they battle between each other. That's they scuffle. I don't care. But you know, here's something that everybody else is doing. Like I said, I don't want to defend Trump, but another thing I never do, right, is pick sides between white people. So like I was saying, I study the history of different places, you know, in modern times and ancient times, and I've never seen that work. Like I don't know of an instance, choosing between the Muslims and the Christians, the Catholics and the Protestants, the North and the South, the British and the French, the Dutch and the Portuguese. I've never seen that work out for the original people who make that decision. The Republicans, the Democrats, the left, the right, the up, the down, et cetera, et cetera. So you want to jump all on this one side as if these people that's prosecuting Trump is going to do any fucking thing better than he's going to do. See, that's when you caught up, when you just, oh yeah, Trump, he's going to jail. Yeah, they got him, they got him. And this is all the fuck you talking about? While the nigga who did mass incarceration is sitting there and crimes from him is coming out every day, but you ain't paying attention to those because you've chosen a side amongst these motherfuckers. And see, what a lot of people don't realize is you've joined whiteness. That's how you're able to choose a side over there. That's how you're able to have a side and say, yo, this guy's the bad guy and that guy's the good guy, because you join whiteness. And you know how you can tell motherfuckers have joined whiteness? Because they do all the same shit that the immigrants did when they came over here. See, now that you've joined whiteness, all you do is talk about how terrible in the hood is. Everything you do is to separate yourself from them niggas down there in the hood. Yeah, I ain't controlling the government, but I'm better than them niggas down there in the hood. You living in the same fucking place. They did the same fucking thing to you. When they wanted those motherfuckers to become white, they sent them to the suburbs. See, like I said, that's why I study that kind of history. See, when the white people was in the inner cities, they was living in enclaves. And see, like I said, every city is a little bit different, but in New York, right, you had Italians, you got the Irish, and a lot of those enclaves, the major person there was the church. The priest was the major force in the what's the name? They was the major gathering places for the people and all of that. The people had different family allegiances. You got Italian people talking about shit that happened in Sicily hundreds of years ago. Nah, man, that's not, can't do that. So when we send them out or when they get sent out to the suburbs, Now you don't live, you can't pick your neighbor. See, in the neighborhood, you go into an Irish neighborhood, an Italian neighborhood, an Asian neighborhood, a Black neighborhood, a Jewish neighborhood. You see, when they get out to Long Island, now everybody's together. All of their cultures start mixing and they become just white. And now see, what you call it? The black elite. What's the name? What's the name for it? The black excellence or whatever they call it. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Yeah, the black excellent people have done the same thing. The homogenization that TV and the internet has created allowed these people to become white. You said similar to what's going on with the LSU basketball player doing the same taunt as the white girl from Iowa. We must unite as one for them to truly see God in the flesh. When she do it, they say it's competitive, but when she did it, it was classless. Now, I don't know what the white girl did. If the white girl did the same thing, she's classless too. But look, I look, see, and this is what I'm saying, man. That see, I'm getting too old for this. I'm, I'm getting too old for this. Listen, as somebody that look, these two young ladies, because it was more than one. You know, all of the young ladies that's involved in the NCAA playoffs, right? The tournament would be amongst my youngest children. Like I think I only got one child that's younger than all the people playing in the NCAA tournament. And I'm just saying, from that aspect, no, that shit is unacceptable. Like I'm just saying that, look, I would be embarrassed if some of the behavior that I saw from the black, because there's the other girl that punched the girl. Actually, when I first saw this, what you talking about with the sign, the girl from LSU, I thought it was the same story until I saw that it was different teams. No, guys, we listen. This is what I'm saying. This does see the coaches I got. See, full stop. The devil came how many ever thousands of years later? Trillions of years later. Let's say that. Right? The culture is I got. Full stop. Okay, now where does that behavior fit in? Where does that behavior fit into the culture is I got? Like there's certain shit. Like, look, like I said, I did see that they said the white girl is doing it too or whatever. But when and they only showed one picture of the white girl doing it. I did see it, but I mean, she was kind of doing it in the open. It's just like when dudes make a 3-pointer, right? And then they make the symbol like they got a shotgun. Okay, them doing that is one thing, but if you do that in my face, yeah, that's classless. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like we gotta, and like I said, I'm not saying that those things didn't happen. We know what the history is, but see, we got to understand that our culture is our God. Full stop. See, because everything after that, you line yourself to be grafted. You see what I'm saying? Once you start moving, like, yeah, I gotta move unrighteously because other motherfuckers is moving unrighteously. No, you got to get the fuck out of there. If you somewhere where everybody's moving so unrighteous that you got to move unrighteous, you need to get the fuck out of there. Otherwise, what are you dealing with? Unlike attracting you. You can't escape the gravitation. Some of this stuff we gotta, there's no other way. You see what I'm saying? Because playing his game is extending his life. I think that's the only way to stop that is to stop playing that game. That's one of those things that fit in the category. Like Allah said, look, man, only way to master certain things, you gotta leave that alone. Yeah, they got me. She punched it, but look, the white girl did fake. I don't know what the fuck is up with all this faking between her and 6ix9ine. You rolling around on the ground and shit. Everybody touch you. You like, yo, stop it. She definitely played it off. But see, the fact that she was able to do that, you said, but the taunting is all a part of the game. She could dish it, but she must be able to accept it. Now, look, I'm gonna tell you another thing from an athlete standpoint, right? Look, don't front run. You know what I'm saying? Look, here's a question. Did anybody watch the game? If you watch the game, right? Here's my question. Was she talking shit the whole game? Like, there's things that we might not know that can mitigate it. Maybe there was some shit talking back and forth. Maybe we need to check the Twitters. Maybe there was some shit talking back and forth. You know, and then like I said, if you talking shit the whole game, but that's what I'm saying. Like if you wait until the game is over, just like go celebrate with your team. What the fuck you over here for? Woo. Hold on, we're gonna deal with that second. See, I don't know. You really trying to get my channel taken off today. I mean, I would have to see the white girl, but either way, or even if the white girl did it, look, I gotta, you know, listen, first of all, let me take this moment to thank everybody who's been subscribed, who's been checking out these live streams, because after today's comments, we're not sure if this channel is still gonna be here. Uh I guess I don't know if you've joined the mailing list, if you're on the text list, but we'll try to find some way. But see, speaking about the white girl and the black girl, right? There's just too much fucking adolescent aggression amongst women these days. It's like women are picking up this masculinity, right? But see, they're not picking up this brand of masculinity, meaning at this stage in life, right? Where I'm like, yeah, see, these things, look, this is how you avoid trouble, stay out of fights, you know what I mean? And maintain yourself. They they in that adolescent stage. Like they masculinity is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Like I'm ready to pop off. Niggas talk shit. Yo, keep my shit off. You know, they not at that point where it's like, yeah, you talk shit, yeah, I go home, drink my champagne. You know, I'm not, I'm not going at it with you like that. You know, men deal with it. It's like women. This is not happening. Their masculinity is just stuck in adolescence, man. And there's something wrong with that. You know, if the white girl is doing that, she's being too masculine too. You know, adolescent, like that's junior high school, you know, maybe high school, you know, that's the type of shit where people fighting after the game and shit, man. See, like all that shit they doing, saying you try that shit at the wrong school in New York City, and y'all motherfuckers better have some track shoes along with the basketball shoes. Listen, I know, dude, teams that was real good, they knew that. It was teams that was real good that, yo, you would see them packing their shit up before the game was over because they knew it was about to go down. And I'm saying that when you still in that adolescent masculinity form where you don't give a fuck, you fuck all this shit up, man. Niggas better not disrespect you. Women got to chill with that shit because just like you know, brothers in they adolescence, you learn that listen, man, eventually you gonna run into somebody or some group of niggas that, that ain't playing with you. Yeah, is that what I'm saying? So uh again, yeah, I hate to change that subject, but you asked for it. Yeah, see, this is not behavior. I mean, that's what they're doing though. You know, right now, you know, womanhood, you know, not even womanhood, woman is being redefined right now, which is a whole other. Let's definitely look. We've hit enough controversial topics. Let's not go down that road. Won't be too much what's the name left. Plus, we already got another controversial topic here on the uh on the thing here. So all from one, I guess you've been look, I've been paying attention to that debate. How you see the relationship between black people with history in America and Africans. How can we take steps to unite? Shaka Nulu. Oh man, you just missed you know, they just took me down to Kevin Samuels lane. They just, it's funny that you come in. Listen, we had to take it all the way back to Figueroa because you know, it just seemed like people, you know, I know this is TV, but come on now. But whatever happened to Rock 120, I was under the impression that you rock 120. But so yeah, where you want to start with that? I mean, where are you in that what's the name? Not in terms of what's your solution, but I mean, what do you think is the problem? Because I think, I'm a little bit, look, I'm off center. If you notice, most questions you ask me, I come from a different, maybe a little bit different perspective with how I see things. But what do you think the problem is? Let me ask you that. Yeah, Shaganulu. I mean, while I'm waiting for him to answer that, yeah, we had to go down because this whole Trump indictment, I mean, man is being indicted for paying a porn star for sex. Hey, look, and then giving her extra. In my mind, like if I'm the district attorney, I'm thinking, damn, you are ungrateful. You 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 you're very ungrateful, man. So you've been paid twice. Then you tried to sue, and now you're back to press charges. It's like I sell you some weed and then press charges you from buying it from me. Why are we acting like this woman's new to this, man? Now I was saying she's been victimized by her own profession. I don't think that would work out if I did that. That was the problem. I get see. That's why I needed you, Shaka Noodle, to drop a gem like that. That was the problem. He didn't film it. Had he filmed it, no indictment. It's kind of like I guess it's like habeas corpus, but the other way. Oh man. I can't believe that's actually on the news that people are entertaining this shit, man. And acting like, this white guy is vanquishing your enemy white guy. Like both of y'all niggas could go, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? Not on your side. So you said one of the issues is we see each other through the lens of the white media, so we don't have a true sense of how we are. They see hip hop culture and think that's all blacks. Now, see, that's why I think the problem is coming in at in uh you know, there's a lot of people that is just kind of bickering, getting their shit off. And then there's a lot of people that I think is sincerely looking for a solution. And I think one of the issues for the people that sincerely looking for the solution is that the white lens of the media is really only uh multiply the problem that already existed. right? Meaning that uh see, the black and the brown being separated is how the devil was created. The devil didn't create the separation between the black and the brown. You understand what I'm saying? He's a he's a product of that separation. And not just on the island of Patmos. From the time Yaqub is observing the two pieces of steel, the colored man is a product, right, of how those things is attracted, right, added together, and how they repelled away or separated. You understand what I'm saying? In the time that he came amongst the original people, right? And you telling lies and you accusing the original people, right? Everybody's not falling victim. See, there's already got to be some separation in your mind, right? Because you got to think about this. This is what I'm saying. Now, and is Mrs. Spock in here? I hope nobody from the Mythbuster crew is in here because I don't want to have to deal with this issue today. We, we y'all already put me through the ringer, right? So let's pretend let's pretend Mr. Spock is not here, right? And the original Mr. Mythbuster is not here, right? See, we somewhere, right? We in Mecca, right? Now, I know you know me. We from the same town. We grow food in the same field. We hunt together. We get our water together, everything. Now, somebody who just showed up, right? Because remember, they only there for 6 months. So somebody who shows up a couple months ago, we don't even know what's wrong with him because he looks so different from us. And he tell you something about somebody that you've been living your whole life with, and you believe that and go into conflict with the person you've been, see, that separation already existed in your mind. You know, and then when you look at the historical accounts, uh, of European expansion, you know, they took advantage of divisions that existed in the societies where they went. Some societies, they had different, the way the division was different. Over here, they took advantage of the separation between the Mayans and everybody else. In India, they could easily take advantage of the divisions that exist in the caste system already. In Africa, they took advantage of the separations in the tribes, in the empires that was already there. So the way I look at it, we got to go back to that separation. You see what I mean? Because, it still exists, right? And even though, part of what I'm about to say right now, it has been impacted by white people, right? But there's still a lot of internal separations that we have amongst ourselves, right? That it's like, for instance, y'all niggas hate New York. let's, you know, and we never do nothing but just give. The knowledge, hip hop, all, and y'all motherfuckers can't stand us. How do y'all plan to have unity with people from a whole other continent and y'all don't like us? And we gave y'all, we gave you motherfuckers life, man. But y'all send back to our city, death. But seriously though, see, when you go into these other worlds, right? When you go into the African world, right? The same way I said, look, you got motherfuckers, inside a city, yo, those niggas is from the north side. We in the same project. Nah. They from that side of 12th Street. So if you got that separation right there, how you gonna join forces with any other people? That's one of the reasons why truces, I ain't gonna say they didn't work, but that was how those truces was able to be broken down. Because every group is not unified in wanting the truce. So by the same token, if right now, and like I said, I don't want to paint no fucked up picture. I'm just saying what I see as the facts. I'm not saying that this means anything about the people. I'm saying this is a condition, right? Vast majority of the news you hear coming out of Africa is about civil war. And I know that that is the media lens. Let me be clear. I know that's not the only thing that's going on over there, but I'm just saying that that's a lot of what you hear about. So we kind of need to locate the sources of those divisions, right? While at the same time producing some monolithic ideas, right? When I say monolithic ideas, that's another thing when you have those type of conversations, they like to say, well, Black people is not a monolith. There's no such thing as that. Like I tell the truth, I really just started hearing about people. Monolithic was like large architecture and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so a different type of people. People gonna be tall, they're gonna be short. But there's certain monolithic ideas, right, that could pull everybody together. See, like Christianity is a monolithic idea where you have all different people from all different backgrounds, all different levels of society. But when we need to do the crusade, we can do this together. When we need to go out and conquer the rest of the world, we're going to fight amongst each other. But in terms of this imperial thing, we just fighting amongst each other for the crumbs. Ain't nobody outside of us going to get none, though. Democracy, capitalism, those are all ideas where, those are ideas and concepts that, unite all of the people that deal with them. And I think another step is that you see somewhere down the line, not me, because I'm, I, I'm already like but look, somewhere down the line, y'all gonna have to learn some humility and about giving and taking orders. From the giving orders standpoint, a lot of people that do have the power to give orders put out some fucked up directives. And so, generations and generations, can be caught up by, what they say, you know what I mean? Like what are you giving the order to do? Are you sending people to their death, hell, and destruction? And then in terms of taking orders, uh, a certain humility has to be learned that you're not bigger than the success of the whole. Uh, and at the bottom line, it's not an accident that the word is orders. Because see, if nobody's giving the right orders or taking orders right, then you can't establish and maintain no order. And that's why we on that where we at. I'm not saying other people ain't doing nothing, right? But what I'm saying is that the way they being successful is by having order. You know, organization beats disorganization. And that's another thing that I've just seen in my studies, of different societies and different events in society and the way how society got right now. You understand what I mean? You know, uh, until the 1880s, probably the 1870s, 1880s, uh, white people didn't actually have uh all that much of an advantage. They really didn't have any advantage maybe until the 1800s in warfare, not in terms of really equipment and all of that. When you got a gun that you got to take the gunpowder out your pocket, clean out the thing, and then put that in. So I done shot you with 85 arrows by then. But at least the way I understand, from my study of it, what uh gave them the tactical advantage was the order that they maintained on the battlefield. If you ever had the misfortune to be in one of those situations, right, where you with a group of people and y'all outnumbered by a group of people, see, as long as y'all stayed together in a kind of, compact, orderly situation, where y'all got a little bit more control. See, once y'all start getting separated and they start isolating y'all, you done. Even in terms of governmental structure. Okay, we need to make a decision about this land right here and who own it. How we going to decide that? Well, yeah, we got to talk to the oracles. Nah. Look, we got a system right here. You come into court. Look, you come in, you be there at this time right here. You be out by that time. We have everything decided up. See, we already got our shit in order. See, that's why it's so easy to take out our leaders, because we don't have no order. You know what I'm saying? So you got 40 million people doing whatever they feel like doing. And then you're going to add on whatever amount of million people, right, doing whatever they feel like doing, and then at the end, you say, okay, what steps could we do to bring it together? The steps is dismantle everything that was going on, you know what I mean? But because like I said, man, from gang to gang, you know what I'm saying? From city to city, from complexion to complexion, to, all these different what's the names. And I'm saying that's across the board. You understand what I mean? Meaning that, let's say, even when you look at the so-called Hispanic world, they haven't come to grips with the Black people in their own countries and cultures. So how they going to come here and have unity with some other Black people they don't even know? And see, some shit, it look good on paper and shit, but you got to put that into practice. You know, those is, I mean, I know those are tall orders. I have no idea how y'all will get to that point. But there's things like, see, for instance, now, people would call me like, yeah, so you just a follower. See, today, You say, oh man, yeah, he's one of the brothers that's out front. You know, when we need to know what's going on, we talk to Christ. But see, that's because I was a fantastic private soldier, highly decorated lieutenant. But you know, as long as y'all live in a world where a person's age, a person's accomplishments don't mean nothing, then that's what I'm saying. It ain't. There's nobody that can say, you know, like say even back in the days, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, I those people over here, we got beef with them. We want to squash the beef and shit, right? So look, you know, King over there, you got a son. All right, look, I got a daughter. You know, now they get married. Now, if we go against each other, we're going against family. But see, the people at the top got to be able to say to the rest of the people, yo, look, that's, you know what I'm saying? See, those are the type of things that don't exist. Like right now, look, you know, like I said, with that hyper adolescent masculinity where I can't take no shorts, you're never going to come together like that. Because see, somebody's got to take the last L. I mean, anybody that's been in the street, they know that that is look. Every single beef ever could have been squashed, except somebody's got to accept that last L. And so, you know, any specific, you know, each specific separation, right, is they not necessarily permanent. You got people that used to be enemies, now they best friends. You got organizations that used to be rivals, now they allies. But it's the science of separation. See, as long as the science of separation exists in your mind, is going to produce separation. Shakadoodle said L's are teaching moments. Yeah, but see, cats can't learn. You know, we dealing with a new well now let me not say that. I barely got a channel now. We don't want to stigmatize anyone. But I guess that was a little bit long-winded, but that's how I see that situation. Like I've been observing that back and forth for a long time, right? So yeah, I got a lot of ideas about it. You know, I never jump in because it's not my, you know, the people that's arguing about that, first of all, there's a lot of that intersection there between education and insanity. So you got a lot of people now that, in my opinion, uh, they got a lot of crazy ideas, bad concepts, and everything, but they've gone to college or, somehow interface with academia, right? And came up with an intellectual framework for their BS. You understand what I'm saying? Just like when people say that guy from Germany, Blumenbach, invented racism, he came up with the intellectual framework for racism. But Aristotle was already racist in the BC times. And he was assigning characteristics, abilities, et cetera, to people based on the color of their skin in those times. But see, now we got X amount of bones we found, and we got this theory of evolution and all of these things, so we could put these together, right, and form an intellectual framework, right, based on some facts, but just drawing a bullshit, unrealistic conclusion and using these facts for that. So that's why you can hear, almost anything that is ridiculous. You can hear somebody talking about it, and it sounds official until you really dig down and into showing, proving it. Freedom Culture said, when I'm in Asia as a black man, I get confused for a star and not a thug. Now look, that's better, but it's still not good. SW, that's better, but it's still not good. See, you missed that part in the beginning when I was saying, but see, back to the part where we talk about the culture is our God, right? And what is the vision, the vision, I'm saying, of uh the not the vision, the image, the way the black man is being portrayed, right? That's still bad. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm either LeBron James or, pick your gang member. That's the issue with that. That's exactly what I'm saying. That, other people don't have that. Like, just that there are, just black brothers who, you know, they don't rap, they don't sell drugs, they don't play basketball, you know what I'm saying? They completed school, you know what I'm saying? Look, they may have, their plan for getting money is not, no get rich quick shit. They just got a job where it's that, yo, by the time I work this job, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is, right? I'll be making this much money. I get this pension, you know what I'm saying? I got plans on, I'm gonna buy this house. See, that's how most of the people is gonna live their life. And see, somehow we've allowed our image and everything to be distorted, man, where, like I said, everything is either, you're a basketball player or you a gangbang. And what I'm saying is that as the young is growing up, they gotta make their decision. Now, look, one of those things is really easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be an actor, I could be a basketball player, football player, whatever. All right, so listen, if you ain't 6'5", you've already cut a certain amount of that out. If you don't have a certain look, like that's what I'm saying. We're allowing that to kind of exist. You know, we're I mean, even to say it's a regular life, even for me to say it like that, is it act like just look, there's a good life. Like just living a good life, you know, being a good person. Like, see, if I see a Chinese person walk up and down the street, I'm thinking he just somebody going his job. If you see an Indian woman walking down the street, you thinking she just somebody going to her job. She's to be left alone. But you know, that idea that, you know, either way, or we some kind of spectacle for them or something for them to have to do something about to eliminate us, you know, that's not good. You know, that just regular everyday heroes, right? Like my pops that work for MTA. Maybe everybody else he's not a hero, but see, there's things where if he didn't tell me, I wouldn't be here. He didn't swoop off the building or out the phone booth with a cape, but he saved my life. See, regular everyday heroes like that, because he ain't got no cape, right? He not making calls on the number phone. We don't know what that is no more. So, you know, like I said, man, the coach is our guy. See, and we gotta start looking at that. Period. Full stop. See, now we get to the point where look, you know, I see Lord Shalon here. We know some firstborn prince said, but is a lie. Whatever you getting ready to say after you say but is about to be a lie. You see, it's not the culture is our God, but it's not the culture is our God, and it's not the culture is our God. Yeah, it's that. It's the culture is our God, or get the fuck on. See, because if you got all these other excuses and reasons, right, of why you can't be our God, then listen, let's cut let's look. Some of this stuff is simple. I don't know if you're paying attention. But see, if something you telling me, right, that because the white man is doing something, right, you can't live out our God, then well, what comes after culture? The culture is our God. What comes after culture? I see we got some. Let me read them. See what you're telling me is you're not free from the devil then. If your culture is our God and you can't live it because of something, you don't have freedom. And without the freedom, your mathematics is incomplete. To see there's, everything we come up with these mitigating circumstances. You did something wrong. Yeah, well, what about the white people did it too? It's like things can't, see what came first. So sometimes, you thinking of doing what you doing, or you thinking of how you was oppressed. Whenever something goes wrong, yeah, but you got to understand. You fucked everything up. Yeah, well, that's just a part of the growth process. At some point, the culture is our guide, full stop. See, now this is what I'm saying right here, right? Uh, you said that it's in this particular union that you were saying a 1 year apprentice is clocking $80,000. Now, you know how many niggas stand on the street right now talking about they gangster and they move all this and move all that, and they not gonna see $80,000 this year? Maybe not in 2 years or 3 years if they stay out of jail. You know how many people I know that was, I mean, listen, just hustler supreme, stick up supreme, whatever. And now they got a job. They like, man, listen, man, this is the easiest thing. Like if I would have known that it was this much easier going to work and shit. I never would did all that, man. If people I know used to hustle got two jobs now. But we've done our thing, I think, for the day. Might as well get out of here. Well, I've had a good run. Maybe this is a good sign that, my mouth ain't ready to get irritated. I don't know. how to run into B by later on, but you know, we see what happens. We might make it back on. We might make it back on later in the week. But for now, I guess, man, you know, digest this right here. Uh I guess if we got any short questions, the last question, I guess we got a little bit long-winded. But we got any last questions right here? I guess if you missed these questions right here, you could put them. Yeah, y'all stop doing that. Y'all have stopped doing that. You know, y'all should start back putting, you know, questions or topics that y'all want to be addressed regular in the regular comment section. Permanent comments. This is the chat box right here. So, yes, that's sayonara. Do to each one, teach one. Hit the like button, and I catch y'all on the rebound. Matter of fact, Shaka Nulu. We got to go. Look, Shaka Nulu. We need to go on the city sciences. When you gonna be ready to go on the city sciences? Because I got some news. I ain't tell you about that news about Figaro veteran. Little Figaro veteran. But I don't know. I guess this is your time now, the daytime. I'll never see you in the nighttime. Maybe we'll come on in the daytime. Maybe we'll come on in the daytime tomorrow, and I can let you know about yeah. I don't know. I don't know what category it is, but but you definitely gonna know who I'm talking about. But meantime, between time, I'm gonna go ahead and say peace.